It's time. I've been building. Evolving. Catching. And now it's time to do some battling. Hello everyone, I'm jblader. Welcome back to the channel. Today on the BattleCraft SMP, we're having the VGC Doubles Tournament 4-on-4. Let's go over my team. First, we got Toxapeck, named Toxic. I wanted it to have Regenerator, so I gave it an ability patch, something that we have here on the server that we can craft. I gave it a leftovers to hold, and a pretty defensive build with some EVs, basically in special defense, some in defense, and mostly HP. Next up, we got Porygon 2. With this Eviolite to hold, it's going to be extra tanky, doubling those defensive stats. It also gets some decent moves like Recover, Tri-Attack, and Discharge. Next up, we've got Koopy, the Mamoswine. It gets access to some super strong stab-type moves, maxed it in attack and speed EVs, and it gets Earthquake, Ice Shard, really strong moves across the board, and of course, give it a Focus Sash, just so it can hopefully stay in a little bit longer. Next up is Cardinal, the Corviknight. I've given this thing kind of an HP and defensive build with Hone Claws so that it might be able to set up. Next, we've got Jalapeno, the Heatmore. With access to some different types of split moves, special attacks, and physical attacks, I decided to clean up its EVs, focus on speed and special, and get a Choice Scarf so it hopefully can outspeed anything that's coming its way. Lastly, we have Kathy, Cathedral, my Conkeldurr, my starter. I gave it a Figgy Berry so it can heal if it's low, and this thing is tanky and hits super hard. So a few things before we get started. First of all, make sure you like and subscribe. I put a lot of effort into these videos, so when you guys show your support, it means the world to me. Thank you guys so much. Secondly, going into this tournament, I wanted to use Pokemon that I just enjoyed using. Are they all super competitive, overused, good? No, not really. But they're Pokemon that I caught naturally with good IVs here in the world, and they're Pokemon that I've had fun using in the past, so I wanted to give them a go. And that even includes Heatmore. I'm primarily a builder, and if you guys have seen my channel, you know I do a lot of building and storytelling. And I've been playing Pokemon for a really long time. Almost 20 years of my life, if you can believe it. So I have a pretty good just general knowledge of Pokemon, but VGC is a new beast to me. I used to play Smogon competitive back in the day on Pokemon Showdown, OU and UU and NU. But that was a few generations ago, and VGC, well, it's a different beast entirely. So, 2 weeks ago, my friends and I gathered at my amphitheater to battle it out and see who was going to be the first VGC tournament winner here on the BattleCraft SMP. I'm only going to really be showing my battles in the finals. Remember, everyone on here is a YouTuber and content creator, so if you want to see everyone's point of view in every single battle, well, make sure you go check out the people that you want to watch. Is this the start of my VGC career on the BattleCraft server? Or in general? I don't know, I did enjoy it a lot, so let's hop into it.
Is there suspicious gravel here? Jake?
Yeah, don't brush it.
Sure is, don't brush it.
Oh wait, I gotta make notes. Where's my notebook?
Oh no.
What? Who's making notes?
Oh, we're doing that?
Tournament.
What are you
Alright, I got my notebook.
Oh my.
We're playing like this.
Welcome everybody to the first inaugural BattleCraft tournament. Oh yeah, baby.
Oh,
We finally did it. It's only taken 3 months, but we're here, baby. Let's go.
Team building takes time.
It
Team
does.
building.
It does.
I did it in
Yeah,
24
for those
hours.
of you who are taking it seriously, you know,
Very serious, very serious. So, we are doing something a bit different with this tournament. We are going with the standard VGC rules. So we are all bringing 6 Pokemon to the battle, but we are only using 4 of them. And of course, we are doing double battles.
After that quick introduction, it was time to get started. We were interrupted shortly by some cheerleaders, Chespy and Liv.
Prepare for bubbles
And make it doubles.
to train for domination.
For love, praise, honor, and gratification.
And then Peep and Casey drew the names for our first match. And when you know it, it was me versus Callie.
versus JB.
Oh.
Let's go, Callie.
Callie is a member of Team Obsidian, an evil organization here on the server. And she's known as the server Shiny Queen, so I figured she would be bringing some sparkly critters to the match. Her team consisted of Mamoswine with Thick Fat, Talonflame with Gale Wings, Politoed with Drizzle, Ampharos with Static, a Water Absorb Vaporeon, and Gardevoir that has Telepathy.
Go BattleCraft! Go BattleCraft! Woo!
Go BattleCraft. Go BattleCraft.
Are you guys rooting for me or Callie?
We're
You.
cheerleaders.
I
We
get-
don't have
I get one of you
bias.
guys
I want
and you
everyone to have fun.
Okay.
All right, fighters, prepare yourselves. Oh, the Mamoswine are kissing.
I led off with Mamoswine and Corviknight, while Callie also led off with a Mamoswine and Talonflame. In turn 1, I decided to go for Earthquake, figuring it was the best move to hit Mamoswine with, and went with Steel Wings with Corviknight. Talonflame got the Tailwind off, and her Mamoswine got off an Ice Shard. Luckily, Corviknight is pretty tanky, and the Earthquake and Steel Wing combo took out her Mamoswine. In came Vaporeon. Turn 2, I brought Mamoswine back, seeing a giant fire move or a water move incoming, and I swapped out the Toxapex. A Flare Blitz took out my Corviknight. Muddy Water from Vaporeon did almost no damage after the leftovers. Turn 3, I went into a Wide Guard from Toxapex. Conkeldurr ate a Brave Bird and ate a Figgy Berry, getting back some HP. Rock Slide from Conkeldurr took out Talonflame, and it was 2-1. Next up came Politoed, bringing Drizzle onto the field. Toxapex used Wide Guard again, protecting it from Muddy Water. Hypnosis from Politoed missed, and Conkeldurr sadly missed the Rock Slide. I got outsped next turn with an Earth Power from Politoed and a Muddy Water from Vaporeon, but both my Pokemon were still standing. Baneful Bunker failed this turn since there were no physical moves, and Hammer Arm on Vaporeon didn't really do a lot. I didn't have a great answer to these water types. A Muddy Water took out Conkeldurr next turn, and Hypnosis missed once again from Politoed. Time for Mamoswine to come back in and do huge damage with an Earthquake. Politoed missed Hypnosis again, 3 in a row, and Wide Guard protected Mamoswine from a Muddy Water. The next turn though, a Hydro Pump from Politoed got Mamoswine down to its Focus Sash, and a Muddy Water took it out. Liquidation next turn took out Politoed, and we realized that we were going to have a stall battle here. After some deliberation, we realized that if we had to go off PP or power points alone, Callie would have more than me, so I forfeited the match and took my first L. It was a close match, and the tough thing about these types of matches are unpredictable type matchups. I can only bring 4 Pokemon in, and not really knowing what she's going to have, when she had 2 strong water types here, I didn't really have a great answer to them with this team. But the good news is, I wasn't out. We were doing double elimination. I just moved down to the losers bracket, and I'd have to fight my way out to make it further. So let's take a look at the first bracket. We had me and Callie, in which Callie won. Then we had Vert and Peep. Peep came in with a themed team all around music, and Vert had been doing his training on the VGC side. Vert took the win in that one. Next up we had Rob and Lilith. Rob came in with a themed team of very unpopular Pokemon, and Lilith took the first victory there. Next up we had Hey KC versus Minnie, and KC came in top on that one. And then we had Mighty Duck versus Thomas, and Duck was able to win that match too. That means that everyone that lost came down to a loser's bracket. Rob decided that since he was using a thematic team of some really awful Pokemon, he would just go ahead and forfeit the tournament, which left a few other people competing to exit the losers bracket and make it back into the main bracket. Next up was the first losers bracket match. Me versus Thomas. He had a pretty meta team, at least for Cobblemon doubles, including some heavy hitters like Hitmontop, Tyranitar, and Incineroar. I led out with Toxapex and Conkeldurr, and he led out with T-Tar and Incineroar. I had a pretty big advantage with this lead. Thomas sent out Kilowatt Trail in turn 1, and a Thunderfang from T-Tar did some damage to Toxapex, but a low kick from Conkeldurr took out T-Tar and brought me to an early lead. Out came the Cloyster. Turn 2, I swapped out to Mamoswine, predicting an electric attack on Toxapex, and I got it right. A huge Rock Slide from Conkeldurr took out Kilowatt Trail and did solid damage to a shell-smashed Cloyster. In turn 3, Mamoswine got taken to a Focus Sash from a Razor's Shell, and a huge Earthquake took out Cloyster and did huge damage to Incineroar. Incineroar did take out Mamoswine with a Flamethrower, but Conkeldurr avenged them with a Hammer Arm. And just like that, I'm still in it, and I move on to the next round. Minnie knocked out Peep, which meant it was time for another battle versus another Team Obsidian member, Minnie. And oh boy, did I want to win this match and make it out of the losers bracket. I started with Mamoswine and Toxapeck again since it worked last time, and Minnie started with Grimmsnarl and Arcanine. I've been using Grimmsnarl a lot in the Lucky Block challenges, so I know this thing is capable of being disruptive and a heavy hitter. Intimidate was also pretty annoying. In turn 1, I went with a Wide Guard and Earthquake combo, outspeeding their team and even through Intimidate, taking out Arcanine and doing huge damage to Grimmsnarl. Spirit Break from Grimmsnarl didn't do a lot. Out came Garchomp, a super heavy hitter. Dragon Claw and Toxapeck didn't do too much though, and a Stab Ice Vein took out Garchomp, bringing me to an early lead. We did another Wide Guard EQ combo this turn. Grimmsnarl went with Sucker Punch before being taken out by Earthquake. The next turn I went with Blizzard and Recover, and his Gastrodon went with Recover too. After a few Earthquake Wide Guard combos, we took out the Gastrodon, and that made me the winner of the losers bracket. It felt really good to be the best of the worst. That meant I made it back to the 6 moving on, and I've had to face some of the heaviest hitters so far, so I was happy to make it this far, especially considering how hard everyone was trying. Honestly, I had no idea how hard everyone would try. We went ahead and ran the next match, where I pulled Mighty Duck as my challenger. I started out with Mamoswine and Corviknight, and he started out with Dracovish and Talonflame. I didn't really have great answers to either of those Pokemon, so I figured I was in trouble. I saw a huge physical attack coming, so I swapped into Toxapeck. Dracovish went for Protect to scout out a move, and Talonflame got a Tailwind off, which makes his team faster. Turn 2, a Flare Blitz basically took out my Corviknight, which I knew at this point I just had to sack, and a Stab Liquidation from Toxapeck took out Talonflame, making it 1-1. Tyranitar came out this time, and a Fish's Wren Fire Fang combo took out Mamoswine, and this wasn't looking great. Next turn, Duck brought out Amoonguss. Another Fish's Wren did huge damage to Conkeldurr. And the next turn, Conkeldurr did some minor damage to Amoonguss, and Dracovish protected itself again. Another Fish's Wren outsped my team and took out Conkeldurr, and it was 3-1. So, with only Toxapeck left, I forfeited to save us some time. And sadly, that ended my tournament run. I had to face some big hitters that took a lot of time drafting and strategizing with their teams, so my team of Pokemon that I really liked didn't do too bad, and I had a great time. Let's hop through the rest of the bracket. We had a Team Obsidian matchup, Callie versus Vert, and Vert fell to the Shiny Queen. Lilith's Water and Ocean themed team managed to give KC a loss in their battle, and then Lilith had to face Duck, where he was able to take the victory. Meanwhile, in the single loss bracket, Vert knocked out KC and Lilith back to back. Duck and Callie were the only 2 undefeated ones left. In their showdown, Duck was able to win, forcing another elimination match between Callie and Vert. This rematch was a close one. Winner went on to the final, and the loser was in 3rd place. It was a close one, but Vert managed to win, and that means Callie was in 3rd place. And the finals were set. We had Vert with 1 loss versus the undefeated Mighty Duck. Vert would need to win 2 matches to take the win. So let's hop into the final match.
Good luck and have fun, Duck.
Why'd you say it like that? I don't like how you said that, alright?
Yeah, that was...
Good luck and have fun.
Who beat you guys last time? You won, right, Duck, for the Trident?
Yeah, 2-1. Mm-hmm.
Oh, here's your chance, Vert.
Though his win was on a miss, so you know what they say, but
Okay. My first VGC battle ever. He's like, oh, look at that. I beat you.
Oh,
You
dear.
failed to accept. You
I can't wait to
cowardly
deafen.
failed
I
to
can't wait to
accept.
defen.
Oh
Think
my
about that.
God,
Think about that.
please
Think about
don't.
that.
Guys,
Hey, Duck, good
Make
luck and have
out.
fun.
Just make out already, okay?
Yeah, just kiss. Come on.
After all of the bickering, it was time for the rematch that was meant to be. Mighty Duck won that Trident he's holding in a VGC match against Vert just a few weeks ago, and Vert wanted revenge. And to win his first VGC tournament, Vert led out with a Hitmontop and Palafin, while Duck led out with Amoonguss and Talonflame. Talonflame used its Gale Wings to get a Tailwind off, and Flip Turn from Palafin almost took out Talonflame. A Fake Out from Hitmontop kept Amoonguss from moving in turn 1. In turn 2, Mousehold used Follow Me, becoming the center of attention. Vert brought Palafin back out, now it's in its hero form. The model's not in the game yet, trust me, this is its buffed hero form. And Talonflame used Roost to get back some of his HP, and Amoonguss put the mice to sleep with Spore. In turn 3, Amoonguss used Rage Powder, becoming the center of attention. A Jet Punch didn't do too much to Amoonguss, while Talonflame roosted back to full HP. In turn 4, Vert brought Hitmontop back out for Intimidate, and Amoonguss went with Rage Powder again. Of Brave, Vert didn't do too much to Palafin, and a Flip turned out, giving Vert the opportunity to bring out Ninetales and set up Snowscape. Now in turn 5, Duck wanted momentum back, so he double switched into Tyranitar and Dracovish. This was probably a huge mistake, as an Ice Gem powered Blizzard missed Tyranitar but hit Dracovish pretty hard. In turn 6, Mousehold came back out and was immediately knocked out by a Vicious Rend. Duck brought Talonflame back out for the type advantage, and Vert went with a Roar Veil, but it didn't do anything. Turn 7, Duck brought Amoonguss back out and Freeze Dry did decent damage to Talonflame, as everyone on the field lost some HP to Sandstorm. Turn 8, we got another Rage Powder. A huge Blizzard took out Talonflame and did substantial damage to Amoonguss. Turn 9, another Rage Powder. Vicious Wren took out Ninetales, but Amoonguss was pretty low from taking all those Rage Powder hits. And Hitmontop came back out for the Intimidate. Turn 10 was the destined last Rage Powder Amoonguss could take, and a Sucker Punch took out Dracovish, leaving Duck with only T-Tar. Turn 11 brought this battle to an end as a powerful Rave Crash took out Tyranitar, as Palafin died from the recoil.
Oh my gosh! Whoa!
Yo!
What happened?
Yo!
We are going to a secondary final.
Let's go.
Oh my goodness.
What a close match, and I think our reactions capture it pretty well. And so that meant that we had another match to go. Winner take all, one loss each. Who would be the first VGC champion on the BattleCraft SMP? Let's find out.
Well,
Alright, Duck.
either way, this has been fun.
Yep.
That was a really fun last battle, right down to the last turn.
Agreed.
Let's do it.
The moment you've all been waiting for, the final match. Vert led off with Palafin and Mousehold, while Duck led with Amoonguss and Dracovish. In turn 1, Duck would immediately swap to a Storm Drain Gastrodon to prevent the flip turn, and protected with Dracovish to scout out a move. But Vert saw this coming and immediately swapped to Annihilate and used Beat Up to stack its Rage. In turn 2, Mousehold used Follow Me, and a crit Rage Fish one-shot Amoonguss, while Vicious Wren did big damage to Mousehold. Out came Tyranitar and the Sandstorm. In turn 3, Vert swapped into Ninetales to get Snowstorm going, while a Stab Rock Slide did big damage to Vert's team, and a Vicious Wren took out Ninetales. In turn 4, Duck brought out Gastrodon. Dracovish scouted with Protect again, while a close combat from Annihilate took half the HP off of Gastrodon. Wave Crash from Vert was absorbed by Gastrodon. In turn 5, T-Tar came back out, making Dracovish faster, and it took out Mousehold. Palafin went with Encore, locking Dracovish into Vicious Wren, which it probably is okay with at this point, since Vert didn't have a great answer to it. In turn 6, things took a turn as Duck decided to have Dracovish use Vicious Wren on Gastrodon to raise its special attack. However, Rage Fish took out Gastrodon and a Wave Crash got Dracovish pretty low. A possible misplay from Duck here. It's hard to say if Vicious Wren would have been enough to knock out Annihilate anyway, this turn or next. Out came Tyranitar. In turn 7, a Jet Punch did huge damage to T-Tar, and a Vicious Wren almost knocked out Palafin. A Rage Fish took out Dracovish. Rock Slide took out Palafin, making it just 1-1. And Vert had the type matchup advantage.
I was so stupid. Why did I do that? That was so stupid.
Turn 8 was a quick one, as Annihilate outsped Tyranitar and knocked it out with a quad super effective move. Meaning we had a new VGC tournament winner on our hand, the one and only Vert. Here's the live reaction.
Oh my gosh.
GG's.
I know.
GG, Duck. Excellent battles. Excellent. Incredible.
Dang it.
I
can't believe that.
I messed up.
That-
I knew
yeah.
I messed up when I close combated, and then the only thing I could do, I was like thinking about, I was like, you're gonna get your Sand Rush back, and I'm screwed, and so I sacrificed Tandem Mouse so I could reset my Scarf on Annihilate.
Oh, I didn't know he was scarfed. That's why he was fast.
He's insanely fast. Yeah.
Yeah, well, like, I didn't mean to switch into a Moongus when he went down. I didn't know that was my last turn window. And as soon as I clicked it, everything went like blank. I meant to switch into Tyranitar there. I don't think it would have mattered, but that was also a misclick on my end. As soon as I did it, I threw my hands up. I was like, no.
Oh, no.
But that was a good battle. That was a really good battle. That was
Amazing.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
GG's.
Yeah, good tournament.
Incredible.
Good tournament.
Incredible fun.
Good tournament, guys. Yeah.
So, final standings of our top 4. We have Mr. Virtuositas with the win. Mr. Mighty Duck here with 2nd place. Callie with 3rd.
Let's
and
go.
Lilith
Let's
with
go.
4th.
GG.
Very good. Very good.
Incredible.
BattleCraft.
That was so much fun.
BattleCraft.
I didn't realize we were taking it that seriously. My
Yeah, I didn't realize we were going that crazy with it, but sure.
Now, wasn't that just a lot of fun? I mean, I had so much fun hanging out with the crew and doing some battling, and I'm inspired. I'm just taking a walk over here at Callie's beautiful lush cave that she has been custom terraforming and adding a bunch of cool stuff in it, including some farms, some custom paths that run through here, and you can get a bunch of like really cool spawns in here. There are so many amazing builders and storytellers on the server, so I highly recommend that you go and check out the other channel members, because even though We're all kind of covering the same thing with the tournament. I know everyone's going to put their little twist on it in their own way, and it's going to be a lot of fun. But let's head back to the base. I've popped on over to Vert's starter base location, and we're going to be leaving him a little gift for coming in first place. Even though he is on Team Obsidian and they do a bunch of evil stuff here on the Lumoria region, he has a beautiful base over here. So let's set up a little trophy. That should be good enough for a trophy, and I don't have enough gold blocks to build the whole thing out of gold, so it's gonna be like gold plated, I guess. Congrats on your victory, JB. There we go. Just so he knows, it's from me. So I've also been over here working on my portion of the region, this southern part here. This is Route 35 from the Johto games, Pokemon Gold and Silver primarily, and also went on a live stream and spent a little bit of time working on a wall design that's going to be going around my city. And this wall is going to be encompassing this entire southern part here from gate to gate. And remember, I designed these gates to represent the ones out of Heart Gold and Soul Silver. I think they're really nice, and it'll really bring some balance to this area. But seeing Vert's base really come together makes me really want to put in some work over here on some buildings at the base. I've got the infrastructure in, I've got the roads, I got the paths, I got the courtyard here, but man, I really need to get to work with something besides my giant amphitheater. And that includes a gym where other people on the server can challenge me. It's going to be, I need to build some places to put some farms besides my creepy basement. And I really need to catch some more Pokemon because we're going to be doing more VGC matches very soon. And I got a feeling that the more like one-off VGC matches are going to happen more and more because it was just so much fun. And now that I see the format and the capability of the format inside of this game, inside of the Cobblemon engine, I can see that my eyes have been open to the possibilities. So I'm going to have to catch some good Pokemon with some good IVs, and we're going to have to start training up some too, which we'll be doing on stream. So if you haven't hit that bell notification, do that so you can catch it when I'm doing streams and whenever I upload here on the channel. Anyway, guys, this video has been a long time in the making. Thank each and every one of you for tuning in to this episode. I'm sure I'll have a lot of new viewers on this episode, so if you like what you see, make sure you subscribe, stick around for more exciting Cobblemon content here on the channel. And if you made it this far, you get a gold trophy inspired gold star. Thanks for watching, guys.